Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the Living in Utah live question and answer session here Thursday evening, 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Every Thursday, I seem to make it. I've been on schedule the whole year, I think. Anyways, I am a local real estate agent in the state of Utah. And this particular edition, you're welcome to ask any kind of questions you might have about the state of Utah, real estate investing, maybe if you're joining us from a country around the world. If you've got questions about the United States, I would be glad to answer them also. So it has been a great time in Utah. I seem to say that a lot of weeks, but I really love the weather. It's about 85 degrees this week. Just beautiful. The mornings are a little bit cooler. You're probably about 65, 70 degrees. I was out on my mountain bike this morning. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weather to enjoy the outdoors. So got quite a ride in. I love the cooler temperature, low humidity. About 70 degrees this morning when I was out. It's beautiful, beautiful. So I love it. So you're welcome to ask any kind of questions you want. We will get started. This time of year, I seem to also compete, I guess. It's Thursday night football. So NFL is back and on Thursday night. And I think they also play a couple college games sometimes on Thursday. So what's happening in the state of Utah? Well, you know, the local news has been filled with the young lady, Gabby, out of Florida, who went missing, and they have found her body up in Wyoming. So the news has been filled with that since they traveled through Utah. So it's a sad, sad situation, sad, sad story. That's pretty much what is the topic for the day. Every time you turn on the news and everything else for Utah. We had a little airplane crash this afternoon in a city called Hooper. So I gather from the information that I've been able to gather that the small airplane, there was one person has been injured. They actually take off from their property and land on their own property. So I guess they were coming back trying to miss a pole or something or hit a fence and it flipped the plane over. So that is not normal for Utah, for people to just fly out of their own property. I have not seen a house in Utah where someone has an airplane and they just take off from their house. So that is something new, but where it occurred is farmland. So it makes a little bit more sense. If you own quite a few acres, I imagine you could have a runway to take off and land from. So however those rules are done or enforced, it's not something you see here in Utah all the time. So I visit a lot of houses, and I have not seen an airplane at a house. So very uncommon. There was a report out that Utah is one of the top states for cybercrime, to be victims of cybercrime. They say in the report that people in Utah are probably more trusting and they fall victim to cybercrime. So it seems to be happening. It happens all across the United States. But we seem to be one of the top states for being a victim of cybercrime. So there it goes. So that's some of the major news we've just had, or some of the facts that have come out in the state of Utah. As far as the news goes, let me share something with you that was brought up to my attention last week. Somebody asked me a question about it, and let me pull up a map and give you an idea if you're looking for some recreational activity. Or in this case, a possible place to live. So up this direction here, becoming very, very popular. So as we get, so we are right now east of Salt Lake City, over the mountain. There's Park City up towards the north, and there's Heber City. This area is called Midway, Utah. It's becoming very, very popular. You can purchase homes there, and you can also purchase cabins in the mountain. And some of these cabins do have year-round access. So it's becoming very, very popular. There's a lot of construction going on in the area. So if you are looking for property that is mountain living, next to Heber City is a good sized town, so you'll have most of your amenities there. If not, you can always pop into Park City. You're probably about 20, 30 minutes down the road. Lots of great outdoor recreational in this area. You have the Jordanelle State Park. So Deer Creek Reservoir, very, very popular areas. Lots of outdoor activities in this whole area. So if you're looking for like mountainous type of living, Midway would be a place to consider. The one drawback, your higher elevation, so snow levels will be far, far more than like the Salt Lake Valley when we're talking snow levels. The altitude here is a lot higher. It's the same as Park City, roughly the same as Park City. So in those areas, you typically measure snowfall by the feet, at where in the valley floor, we seem to measure snowfall by the inches. And not 100% correct on that. I mean, the weatherman will say in Park City, they got 12 inches, 16 inches, but sometimes you might as well measure by the foot in those areas. It might be a little bit easier. So if you're looking for that kind of living, that would be one area to consider. It's beautiful up there. I love it up there. It's peaceful, quiet. The summers are absolutely beautiful. I don't know personally if I would live there during the winter months. It is quite the snow removal job. You would have to have some equipment, you know, probably like a small tractor or something with a blower on it to remove some of the snow. Would be, I would assume you would probably need an area like that, or yeah, UTV with a blade to push the snow would probably be the kind of equipment that I'd recommend. Any questions for this evening? That's about the most that I have for this evening. It's been a very quick week in Utah since last Thursday. Honestly, do not know where the time goes sometimes. These Thursdays seem to roll around really, really quick. So any questions from anyone I can answer tonight before I call it a night? Well, I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I will be back again next week. Thank you.